Yo, what's happening? What's going on? Welcome back. Another video. Today, we got a little different mic setup. I don't even really know what's going on. I couldn't clip it to my thing here. It would have been too close and the magnet wasn't working. So we got this going on. Anyway, who cares? Welcome back. I'm Brett Cormier. Another video. We're gonna be talking some draft. The off season is officially underway. I didn't really want to. I don't want to say buy into the off season, but it just felt like that football season went by real quick. And man, when I start checking the mock drafts and all the big boards and everything, man, I can't believe it's over. But this is one of my favorite things to do. Like, you play video games all the time when you're growing up and whatever. And the off season was always my favorite part. And, of course, one of my favorite parts. It was, so I like the rebuild idea. Of course, Patriots don't really have to fully rebuild, but got a few missing pieces, got a few pieces going out, maybe a few pieces coming in. And for sure, we'll have some pieces coming in on the draft. Exactly where in the draft, we're not too sure yet, because there's some time. Today, the Miami Dolphins went on a releasing spree, releasing everybody. I'm not really sure. I think because of how early they release them, that they can sign. They don't have to wait to sign like all the other free agents. I think they can sign, like as we speak right now. Not like I think the other deadline or something like that is March 13th is when it starts. I think I saw something like that. I'm not too sure, but so don't take my word for it. But as I'm recording this, we could see Bradley Chubb is a New England Patriot, but we don't know. Which we could start with that. I think what I'm going to do is real quick. We don't know what the Patriots will do in free agency, which definitely could change up what the draft process looks like and how they attack the draft. And but as of right now, I think I'm going to maybe. I don't know if we'll talk as much as what we think we'll do in free agency, even though I think even though it is first. But I just think the draft is exciting, and we got a lot of draft stuff going on. And the mock drafts are always fun, and I'm actually excited. I haven't looked at the mock drafts all year until after the Super Bowl. So I started looking at stuff, started looking at some players, positions that I think the Patriots need right now, going into the offseason before free agency, and kind of I think it would be kind of a fun idea to go into it exactly if they didn't sign anybody. Or if whoever I don't think they'll sign, let's say I think they're going to sign, I think they'll trade for Myles Garrett every pick of all time. But I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to go with what we have. If we don't trade anything, if we don't trade anybody, no picks, no, you get it. I don't have to keep explaining. I mean, this is ridiculous. So let's just kick it off. I think the whole I think you could say consensus idea is that the Patriots are going to go tackle. And there's some thought processes behind it. Some people are saying, oh well, they got to get the right tackle for the future. They don't have one for right now, and Warren Moses can't play forever. And what if Will Campbell, which I think that's not going to happen. I think Will Campbell is going to be fine. I don't think they're going to go tackle. I don't think they're going to go right tackle either. If they do, I do have some ideas for right tackle, but I do not think they're going to go. I think they're going to get a tackle, but I don't think in the first or maybe second round. I don't think they'll get one that early, unless if one of these guys kind of falls in the second round, they might trade up and go get a good right tackle for the future. But I don't think, especially left tackle. I don't even believe, I haven't really looked, if I'm going to be honest, at early left tackles. I don't think there's even that one dude. I don't know how to say his name, but Mauigua Francis from Miami. He's a right tackle. That dude is really good, way out of the range. Spencer Fano is going to probably be... Caden Proctor is in the area, which is a left tackle. I think he's a good player, very good player, but I don't think that matters. And Caleb Lomu, the dude from Utah, which I've been seeing a couple mocks for the Patriots to get him. I don't see that at all. I don't think he's really that good at... no offense to Caleb, but I don't think he's not... he wouldn't be an upgrade. I don't think Caden Proctor would be much of an upgrade. I think, yeah, he has the prophylactic. Is that what you say? Like if he's prophylactic? Prophilic? I don't think he's the profile. I don't think he's that much better. I think he has those. He's 6'7". He has, he has the whatever. But I don't look. He's still 20. I'm looking at. He's 20 years old. So you're gonna have the same issue. Just blah blah blah. He's just too young. Let him go. You're just gonna be going around in circles and circles and circles. And I don't think that's worth it. I don't think it's worth it at all. I think Will Campbell. I think everybody's gonna be like, wow, what a turnaround! The greatest turnaround. I don't think he's gonna be that great of a turnaround, but I think it's gonna be a turnaround that people are gonna talk about, and it doesn't matter because we're not going for that. So I'm done talking about it because Will Campbell. If you're a Patriots fan, you gotta believe this. Will Campbell is the future left tackle. The present and the future. He will be the guy. I really feel that way. So we're done talking about left tackle. Where we can talk about is right tackle, where this is not an early... I don't think this is the first round at all. I don't think if they want to trade back and whatever or trade up, I think you can go get a guy. But let's wait on that. Because I think I want to talk about who I think, if we stay put at 31 or move up a little bit, who I think the Patriots should go get. And I don't think it should be a receiver, although I think receiver is a need. I do think so. And if we don't get anybody in this experiment that we're doing right now, we get no free agents and we have to build all out of the draft, which is not realistic, but that's just what we're doing today. I don't think receiver is the number one need. I do think it's a high need, but I don't think that any of these... I think Denzel Boston is a good player. I like his size. I like his frame, 6'4", 209. We can't do this helmet watching thing where, oh, he's just like Jalen Polk, or, he reminds me of Romeo. Is it Romeo? Not Romeo Dobbs. Not him. Oh my goodness. Rome Odunze. Whew. Wow. Rome Odunze. Rome's decent player. Whatever. He's not like those guys. He's really not. And he doesn't have that same frame. He doesn't play like N'Keal Harry either. We have to not think about that. We can't take that into every draft. Denzel Boston, I think, is a good player. I don't know if he would be there at 31. I really don't. Realistically, I think if a team was going to get him, maybe... I don't really... Oh, man, that's kind of a tough... That's kind of tough, honestly. Maybe, like... I don't think the Vikings would. I don't think that would be very smart. Maybe Carolina goes for, like, a two-headed monster type deal like they have in... I almost just called them Clemson. I don't know why I almost called them Clemson. Cincinnati. What am I doing? What's going on? Like Cincinnati, the two-headed monster won't be obviously Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, but they could get a good two-headed monster with Boston and Tedero McMillan. That'd make it a lot easier. And they also have Jalen Coker, but hey, we don't care about that. We're not worried about that. But we are worried about that, I guess, because they could get him. Now, this is without free... So let's just say that the Cowboys do get... they keep George Pickens. They could get him. The Chargers That's kind of, well, I don't really know now with Mike McDaniel. I don't know if that is a McDaniel type of guy. Could be, but that could be one of the guys like that. Somebody like that. We could see that. Casey Concepcion. I know he's high on a lot of people's draft boards. I think he's a good player. I'm not a huge fan of him, to be honest. I'm not in love with him. I don't think he's a game changer. I think he kind of plays like Kyle Williams, but I think Kyle Williams has a little bit. I think he has a better release package. I think he can mold into a better player. They have the same type of style. I think they'll both play maybe that Z motion guy that you kind of try to motion to get open. I like Kyle Williams better. In my eyes, they have the same type of play style. So I like Kyle Williams better, and we already have him. So I don't think Casey Concepcion would be from Texas A&M would be really my kind of guy. Jordan Tyson, also from Arizona State, who's supposed to go way earlier, but I just want to cover him real quick, and we won't really go over Mekhi Lemon or Carnell Tate because those guys are going to be way gone, and I think so will Jordan Tyson. But just in case, I like Jordan Tyson. I think he's a great athlete, but I also don't love how I see him a lot doing these catches where he's trying to catch it with his body. He does catch it with his hands a little bit, but I see too many of trying to corral the ball, and that could just be ball placement. But I like him. He's a really good athlete, but I definitely wouldn't want even to trade up to go get him. If he was sitting there at 31 and, you got some other guy, you in our area, we need some, I think we personally need some other areas where I think receiver, there's a really good bang for your buck later in the draft that I think a lot of these players are kind of similar to the earlier guys, and I think may have a little better skill set for the Patriots for how the Patriots like to play football. I think that's a key that not a lot of people like to put into perspective is how not just is this is not Madden. It's not plug and play. You don't just put a guy in and he ends up playing exactly how you want or exactly how he played in college, because a lot of these offenses don't really the college offenses don't play the same. So I think how Drake May likes to throw the ball, who he likes to throw the ball to, he likes to throw it to these bigger guys, and also the play style that McDaniels likes to play, where I know a lot of people are upset with that, whatever, but for the whole season, the offense was playing well, and I think there's some better bang for your buck later for how the Patriots like to play football, how Drake May likes to throw the ball, and things like that. So I'm gonna pass on any of these guys early. Chris Bell out of Louisville, I think he's a really good player. He actually played pretty dang good against Miami. He had some nice catches on some drag routes, took him to the house, broke some tackles. I like how he plays. I don't think once again, I don't think he's exactly what we need. He is 6'2", 220, so he is that bigger body, which I do like. His run after catch is pretty fun. He's a bigger guy, so he kind of bounces off tackles a little bit more. He plays like a smaller tight end because he's kind of thicker, which is I do like how he plays. I really like how he plays. I wouldn't be mad if they traded back a little bit and took a shot at him. I wouldn't be mad at it. So that would be fun. He does play the deep ball pretty well. But I really like how he catches the ball and how he catches him, how he can catch a run. I think his run after catches is pretty dang fun to watch. Going back to Denzel Boston real quick, because I'm just looking at it. I think Denzel Boston is the prophilic, really good profile guy for this Josh McDaniels offense. He can block his you-know-what off. He's big. He's 6'4". He's more agile than his frame kind of seems. He runs a lot of good kind of double moves down the field. He can position his body really well. It's fun to watch. He can catch the ball with his hands. He gets open underneath. He has a pretty good release package. I do like to watch that. Um, he knows he has pretty good leverage. He can leverage the defensive back pretty well. Uses his body, knows how to use it. Quarterback play was on and off and on. So that is a little bit different. I think his high, he can highball it really good. So I do like how he plays. And then we got Omar Cooper from Indiana, who's a little bit smaller. I think I do really like him, but I think once again he would kind of play like that Pop Douglas, Kyle Williams type slot guy, which I think they would. I think they'll kind of start moving Kyle into a little bit more inside roles, which we kind of saw later on in the year. We saw him moving a little bit more inside. I just think the slot position in Josh McDaniels' offense has a little bit more nuance to it. And I think Pop has a little bit more, or he has more league experience, so that's why he played it a little bit more. And we saw Mac Hollins slotting in there. We saw Steph Diggs slotting in there in the slot position. And I think coming next season, Kyle Williams will be in that little slot position and be able to use him as a little joystick and be able to get him in motion and use his speed and use his release. I think his releases are really good. I think his stems are really good. So I think Kyle Williams, I think the offense is going to be okay, especially just to bypass in the first round, because our defense doesn't need a lot of help. As we saw, their defense played really good. But where I do think the defense does need some help is currently, as we're playing right now, as we are in our scenario. This isn't how the season's going to be, but Hawkins is not on the team. He's a free agent. So we're treating it as if Hawkins is not on the team. Neither is Clavon Chason. Neither is a couple other guys. Jack Gibbons, linebacker. But we have the cornerback positions. We have Marcus Jones. We currently do not have a starting safety. And we currently do not have another edge rusher. Now, oh man, this is when it would get tough, because the two positions that we would need would be, say, let's just say we currently need a safety and we need an edge rusher. Man, this is really hard, because there are some good, really good safeties. We can start with the safety position. Emmanuel McNeil Warren out of Toledo, the rising guy, the 6'2", 202-pound senior out of Toledo. Man, this guy looks really fun. I mean, I watched him. I watched the game versus Kentucky, and boy, does he fly around, man. He is a fun watch. He's big. He moves really well. 6'2". I watched a couple other safeties that we'll get to in a second that he looks bigger, and he looks like he carries the 202 pounds a little bit more. Maybe his legs are a little smaller, but whatever. Like his calves were not, whatever. But he just played really, really good. He's very smooth. The way he reacts to the ball is crazy. The way he reacts, comes up, fills the run, is fun. He did have a couple mishaps in that game. Now, of course, it happens, and he's still a good player. He had a lot of big plays, but I did see some breakdowns where they had some runs, and he over pursued, and the running back got out and scored. And he had that a couple times, but for the most part, man, he looks great. He plays really well, and of course, every player, everybody on this is going to have some mishaps, and especially at the safety position. Sometimes if you make the wrong read, we see it all the time. It happens to the best guys. But I do like him. I like how he plays. But there's some other guys that I really liked at safety. I like, from LSU, AJ Halsey. He's number 13. Plays safety for them. He's a senior, 6 foot, 222 pounds. He's a little bit bigger, but he played a lot in their deep third. He was their cover 3 guy. He was their coverage guy. But what I like about him is he's bigger. He's 222 pounds, and he can play inside. He could play that box position. I like how he plays in the SEC. I liked how I watched him versus who was that? Um South Carolina. I think he was playing. I think it was South Carolina. Who was this? Um Not Clemson. Who was this? I didn't save it on here. Anyway, whatever. I watched him a couple times, and he moves. He also moves very well. Um, I think I like his size because if you want a player that can, I think Vrabel likes a guy that can kind of do a lot of things. And if you need like a big nickel, he can come in and play. If you need him to play coverage deep third, he can play that. If you need him to, he can kind of do a lot of things. I didn't see him playing too much man coverage, but he did move really well, and I didn't see too many breakdowns. Not like I'm whatever, but just in the quick little bit that I watched, I really liked him. We'll go to Dylan Dyneman from Oregon. Wasn't a huge fan. He's good. I think he plays well, but I think I like the other two guys, and I also really liked Zach Wheatley or Zachy Wheatley, Zakee. I really like this kid from Penn State, 6'2", 202. I really liked him. I watched him versus Ohio State, and the way he moves, he likes to hit. He hit Jeremiah Smith a couple times. Now he does hit high a little bit. He comes in kind of high and wraps around the shoulders, which I don't love with bigger guys, but also he was hitting like Jeremiah Smith and guys that were kind of catching the ball lower. So I guess, but I liked how he played. He played pretty aggressive, and that's what I like to see out of safeties, especially knowing how just watching the Patriots play defense all year. They were very aggressive. Craig Woodson was aggressive. Hawkins was aggressive. These players were playing just with their hair on fire. And I think my two favorite safeties were those two guys. Now, Halsey, it's looking like he's currently graded a little higher. Now, I'm going off of PFF just so we're on the same page. I don't love PFF. I don't like their grades. I don't really like much how they do things at PFF. I watched. We'll speak later on somebody I'm about to talk about, and they graded him really low in this game that I watched, and I mean, I didn't see a 50 whatever grade. Of course I'm not. I don't know how they're grading. That's the issue. I don't know how they're grading it. This, that, and the other. So I don't look at the PFF like it's whatever. But I do look at like if they're ranked like 400th out of 800, I'm like, all right, let me see. But I'm not going off of that. I just kind of preliminary. This also isn't like the draft isn't tomorrow. I'm just kind of looking at a preliminary look. This is the first couple guys that I looked at. So I haven't looked at everybody. I haven't looked at late round steals, which I'm not a draft guru, but I like to look at guys and some dudes that I think would go later and see if I think sometimes I see guys later and I do think, oh, that guy would be good, and he ends up panning out pretty decent. In my head, I haven't really made whatever, so who cares? But I'm just kind of going first couple rounds. Now, I think this Halsey guy, we'd have to kind of trade back and get him, or we'd have to trade back and get him, but I think you would be able to. He's ranked 43rd here, but I think you would be able to kind of trade back into the second round from 31 and accumulate picks if you wanted to get Halsey. Wheatley, PFF is ranking him 97. I would probably see him maybe in that third round. I think he's a really good player, so I'm not like saying look, Craig Woodson, everybody, we got him in I think the fourth round and everybody was like, "That's the worst pick of all time. What are they doing? This guy, what is happening? This guy's not even close." And he turned out to be one of the best rookie safeties in the league. So I don't think that really matters exactly where they're picked. I just think for value, best, how to get guys. I like Wheatley from Penn State. I think he plays really well. I think he flows really well. There was a slot fade to Jeremiah Smith where I think the slot corner, they were double him. They were bracketing him from the slot, and I think that corner was supposed to get outside leverage, and he didn't. But he flowed all the way over, and I mean, if he threw it inside, he would have picked it probably. But he moves really well, which I like. So those are the safeties that I like. If I don't now, okay, whoa, let me tell you. I don't love either of these guys personally. I don't think. Well, okay, I do. I don't love them more than this guy I'm about to talk about. Now, this guy that I'm about to tell you guys about, edge defender. The reason why I don't want those guys for our first pick is because of this guy. He's my favorite player in the draft. Like if the Patriots were picking like 18, I'd be like, just get this guy. He's my favorite edge defender. And it's not Keldrick Falk out of Auburn, who I think is a good player. It's not Cassius Howell, who I think is a good player. It's not TJ Parker, who I think is a very good player. Or Mesidor, who I think is solid, out of Miami. Zion Young, out of Missouri. He's 6'5", 262. Number 9. This guy is. If you watch how the Patriots play defense, this guy is what you want. And yeah, okay, Mesidor is a good player, and TJ Parker is a really, really good player. If TJ Parker and Zion Young were on the board at the same time, I would be screaming at the screen, just take Zion Young. Don't even try. Take him. He plays. He's 6'5" and he plays like it. Now we watched last year. We had 4 guys that were the huge guys, long arms. They looked jacked, and they played like playing patty cake. Zion Young plays like a man, dude. He plays the run. My favorite thing when I watch DNs, and I'm not a DN expert. I'm not an edge rusher expert. I'm not an outside linebacker expert. But Zion Young, my favorite thing that he does is when there is a little sniffer or some guy coming across to trap him, to do like a little outside trap or zone and have that tight end come around and seal off that edge, is he sees it. And I've seen a couple guys where I'll talk about in a second, but I see a couple guys where they'll either shy away from it or they try to dodge it and they get themselves out and then they can cut underneath. Zion Young eats those blocks, eats them. SEC guys coming across, the big dudes, tackles, anybody, they're coming across. He is taking these blockers head on and just boom, hitting them. And not just hitting them and then gets blocked. He hits them, presses, gets his and he has his head up and he's looking and he can come underneath, make a tackle. He is so much fun to watch. And not only when he defends the run is so much fun to watch. He's aggressive. He plays really heavy. He plays his size. He is the guy. Zion Young, that's my guy. That is my player. Zion Young, whoever he goes to, and I hope it's the Patriots, I hope the Patriots draft him so bad because he is exactly what this Patriots team needs. Because not only does he play on the edge, there has been some where he's kicked inside and he plays like that four technique over the tackle, but he has another edge, or he'll play like that three tech outside shoulder of the guard, and there's somebody outside, which the Patriots like to do a lot. Well, they'll have three down D linemen. They'll have two edges on the outside. And he's also played on that edge where they have the three down and he's on the edge. And he's also been that three tech. And he's just, man, he's powerful. He plays with aggression. He plays with passion. Not only that, he's a captain, which I think is really awesome. I think teams should look for that more often. I think that should be like a very good sign that he is a captain. Every time there was a big play on that defense, he was taking a breather. I mean, he plays with the crazy motor, and every D lineman comes. I mean, everybody takes a seat, but every time it's either away from him, which the other kid on the other side, I forget his name, number 8. He was pretty good, but I don't think he's coming. I think he's staying one more year. He was a good player, but Zion Young is the guy. He pass rushes really well. Now, I think if, for him to be a little bit better, he will have to fight hands a little bit better. You could see him trying to double arm swat, chop down, and it's not as effective sometimes, but his bull rushes, he bull rushes Proctor on Alabama, the left tackle. He bull rushes everybody. In Auburn in the fourth quarter, he couldn't be blocked. It was just like anytime, if he was just wrecking every play. He's really good. When my favorite thing too is when a quarterback does roll out, he's patient. So he doesn't he reads the play really well. And then if the quarterback tries to boot out, he stays with them. He's had multiple batted passes. He's big. He's rangy. He can get in the passing lanes. He's fun to watch. Watch Missouri. Watch his highlights. His highlights are fun, but his highlights are cool, but every play he's doing something where it's ruining the play. It's fun to watch, man. I love that. I love Zion. Now, that's just my quick. I think I spent like 12 minutes on Zion Young, but I needed to get that out because this dude needs more praise. This dude is fun to watch. His power rushing is really, really fun. His power rushing is elite, I think it will be elite. Give him a little bit of. I think you get Vrabel, get Zion and Vrabel in the lab a little bit. Teach him a couple extra pass rush moves. Come on, he's all right. He's fun to watch, man. He is fun to watch. But having him next to Milton and Barmore, whoo, man, he was stunt. He did some stunts, and he has really good patience in the stunts. Blew up some runs. Blew up the quarterback a couple times. He's good. Now, we can go to a little bit later on. Joshua Josephs. I've seen a lot of good things about him. I'm not going to lie. I haven't watched him. Heard he's pretty good. 6'3", 240, which I think he could be pretty good. I don't really know. I haven't watched him. I haven't personally taken a lot of people's word for it because they say a lot of people are good, and when I watch him, I'm like, yeah, he's good, but I mean, I wouldn't say he's exactly what I'm looking for, but I guess that's fine. Let's see. Danny Dennis Sutton from Penn State. I watched him. I think he's number 33. Yeah, 33. Not a huge fan of how he plays personally. I don't really like to talk bad about him, but yeah, I think he is a good player. I just don't think he fits the Patriots defense. I don't think he plays aggressive enough. I don't think he has like the highest motor personally. But that was just like one or two games I saw him play, and he could have just had a little off game, but wasn't the biggest fan. I do like his size at 6'5", 265. But yeah, if you watch him and Zion next to each other, man, Zion, you're my guy. Zion Young. If I don't get jerseys, I don't buy jerseys, but if he goes to the Patriots, I'm buying a Zion. I'm buying a Young shirt, Young jersey. I will, because that dude's awesome. I do like Gabe Jacas from Illinois. He's 6'3", 270. I like how he plays. He's a fun player. He plays around. He kind of plays around a little bit. And he has a good speed rush. I like how he plays. He played in the Big Ten too, so I like that. At one point I was kind of looking at them back and forth, but I just like Zion. I like Zion's power ability. He's just really good, man. That dude's good. Akeem Mesidor, we'll go up, and I'm talking a lot of the first round. These are a lot of my first round guys that I think if the Patriots were to get, because let's be real, we could talk about Ruben Bain Jr., we could talk about David Bailey, but we're not getting those guys, so there's no point. Cassius Howell, who I think is a good player, I think he could drop a little bit. I see, my issue is a lot of, like, even David Bailey, I like how he plays, but I just don't know if they play the run that well. And that's huge for me is them playing the run. I think Keldrick Falk, he's big, but he tends to, I see sometimes where he plays really well sometimes, and then sometimes he gets kind of bullied around a little bit. And dude, if I was playing there, he would kill me. So I'm not saying like whatever, but but I think Keldrick Falk, I think if the Patriots got him, I think Vrabel would light a fire under him. And I think he would play like a madman, because you see it. You see it sometimes. You see him amping up and crushing people. And then sometimes it just feels like, so I don't know if that's a fatigue thing. I don't know if, I don't know, but I see him just kind of, when he loses, he just kind of, he accepts it a little bit, which, the right coaching, I think if you get Vrabel and Terrell and those guys, Zach Core, I think they could kind of let a little fire under him, but I don't really want to have to light a fire on him. I like Akeem Mesidor, but he plays a little bit more inside. I think he's a little bit too big. I think he's a big guy. I don't think he'll play on the edge as much. I think he's really hot take. I think Akeem Mesidor is better than Ruben Bain Jr. I think Mesidor is a better player than Ruben Bain. I think Bain is really good, but I think Mesidor is he wrecks everything. I think Mesidor wrecks everything, and when the quarterback runs the other way, Bain eats it, and then Mesidor just eats everything. I think Mesidor is really good, but I think we already kind of have those guys that play in that middle. So I think going for the first round, I don't think that would be it, but I also could see the Patriots getting Mesidor and kind of playing him exactly how Miami played him, where he did play on the outside a little bit, but the Patriots do like to play those three down linemen, and that's why I like Zion, especially because he does play both, and so does Mesidor. So those guys both play really well. So Mesidor I really like him, but I also like Zion because he's young. I think he's going to turn 22 in March, so next month. Man, I like Zion. But Mesidor, man, he is really good. When I watch Miami play defense, Mesidor jumps off the page a little bit more, in my opinion. I think Ruben Bain's really good, but I just think Mesidor is like, wow. I think he holds the point of attack a little bit better, and he doesn't over pursue as much. I think Ruben Bain kind of over pursues a little bit. Mesidor does a little bit too, which both of them kind of did a little bit too much when I watched them, which I didn't love, but everybody does. I mean, Zion does. TJ Parker does out of Clemson. Kelsick Falk does. All of them do that. So David Bailey does it. They all. I mean, when you have a high motor, it's gonna happen. You just have to play a little bit more within yourself. And, heck, if you're gonna I'd rather than play real hard and overrun it. Honestly, well, not really, but just tame it down a little bit. So my number one guy. I should have been doing this. I should have been doing like my number one, number two. Let me go back real quick. This is ridiculous. You know what? I'll do it at the end. Screw it. I'll do it. Scrap it. Do it at the end. Yeah. Those are my edge rushers who I think that is what the Patriots take in round one. I think 31. I think number one, honestly, I think Zion Young over Mesidor and TJ Parker. And I know that sounds nuts, but really, if you watch full games of them, I just think Zion is so fun to watch, man. I think his size itself is key. I think just his 6'5" frame and whatever he is, 265, 260, whatever. It's really good. And he played in the SEC. That's the guy that I was talking about that had he had a 54 rating for PFF against Alabama. Dude, no shot, man. He was like eating these I'm blanking on what they're called, but these blockers that were coming across the grain and just teeing off on these guys. And I don't know. I think that's my number one. Zion Young, my number one edge rusher. I think people have that wrong. I think he's number one. I think he's number one. I think he does a lot more than everybody else. He's my favorite. Ruben Bain's really good too. So is Mesidor. David Bailey. I need to see more in the run. Pass rushing skills are great. His goes move, his spin move, awesome. But I need to see a little bit more in the run game. And it's tough with the Big 12. It really is tough with the Big 12 because, I mean, his worst game was against Utah, which they don't throw the ball a lot. And his best game is against Houston, who throws the heck out of the football. And they don't. So, I don't know. I think that's tough. I think it's tough. But I think he might drop a little bit. I think it'll be kind of like Mike Green, even though Green last year from Marshall, even though he dropped for different reasons, I think David Bailey would drop a little bit more than people expect, unless teams are just one pure pass rushers. But I just want to quickly go over linebackers real quick. I'm not going to lie. I haven't looked at too many linebackers. I meant to watch Anthony Hill from Texas. I didn't get to watch him, but I think I remember him playing, and I do like him. Yeah, number 0. I think he is a pretty good player. I don't think he's unbelievable, but I think he's pretty dang good, and I like his size, 6'3", 238, plays pretty well. Deontay Lawson, Alabama linebacker, you can never go wrong. Now, let's talk about it. We all know what we're talking about here, or what I'm talking about here. Elephant in the linebacker room. Jacob Rodriguez. How do we like him? I've seen a lot of mixed opinions on him. I've seen some people that don't love him. I've seen people that absolutely love him. I still am in between. Because 2 days ago, I was like, Jacob Rodriguez is the greatest linebacker. Why is he not projected to go 6th overall? He's really good. And then I watch him a little bit. I watched him a little bit today. And honestly, I liked the linebacker next to him, number 13. I think his name's like Ben Morris or something like that, who he's staying in college. I think I liked him a little bit more. Rodriguez he was good. I liked him. Didn't love watching him as much as you watch him on TV and you're like, holy crap, all they do is show him play these plays, but you watch every play and there's some plays where it's like, what is he doing? And he takes some bad angles sometimes. He's late to react sometimes. Sometimes he's in good spots, but sometimes it's like, I don't know. I don't know because linebacker is really tough because you don't know exactly. Like, I mean, everything's tough to grade because you don't know what they're supposed to be doing. And watching them, who did I watch? I watched them against, who was that? I think that was against Arizona State. I watched them against Arizona State. And it was more of like, I think Arizona State runs a lot of RPO, which I think I have to go back and watch maybe BYU or Oregon. Or BYU runs a lot of RPO too, I think. I got to watch them a little bit more because there was just times where I thought he was more aggressive. Like, on defense, I love watching I love watching guys that play with aggression, and you can tell like that usually translate to the NFL, and just speed and confidence. And I think his aggressiveness lacked a couple times, and I do like how he plays. I think he plays the pass really well sometimes. I just don't know his his ability to get outside to the numbers is a little bit in that game. It was just a little bit more tardy than I thought he was going to be, and he was a little bit more reactive than I thought he was going to be. But like I said, that's kind of the RPO game, and that's where it's tough. That's where it's tough to look at these linebackers because even you watch some of the Ohio State guys and they're really good, but sometimes you have to wait and play inside because you have to defend the run, especially in that RPO. So I'm going to watch him a little bit more, but I was kind of sad a little bit because I really like Jacob Rodriguez. Like, I had this thing in my head that he was like the greatest linebacker of all time, which he still could. Like, I still think he's really good, and I think you get him in the right system. I think the Patriots system is really good for him because you have Bob Spillane in an hour predicament. Jack Gibbons is gone, which I hope they bring him back, but you still got Christian Ellis. And if you give him kind of that ability to rotate with those guys, maybe give him the boundary side where he doesn't have to move his. But in the pros, it doesn't really matter. You're in the middle of the field, even if you're on the hash. So I don't know. I think he's a good player. I didn't really look into it much because like the linebackers, because I don't think they're gonna go early on linebacker. I think if they do go linebacker, I think Jacob Rodriguez would be a fun one late. Anybody else? I think Aiden Fisher, I didn't watch. I got to watch them. He's Indiana linebacker. Later guy, 150 they're ranking him, but who knows because he could be really good, especially on the Indiana team. I feel like you get anybody from that Indiana team, you're probably in a good predicament if you just wing it and just get anybody that's on that team. So who knows? But I guess that's kind of bad on my part. I shouldn't have came on here talking about linebackers, but that's not real. Look, I don't think the Patriots are going to go. I think that's more of like a round. If they're going to go for it, they'll get like that Jacob Rodriguez type guy late or somebody later on, round 4, 5. But I just wanted to. I think, look, if it's my mock, I'm doing that. Now, I completely missed a guy, and wasn't on purpose, wasn't on accident. I just had a different thought in my head. I was going just the first round in my head. Like, I was like, oh, who am I going first round? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm kind of all over the place. But I'm going to end it with this. Oh, also, okay, I'm all over the place even more. Tight ends, I think, sadly, I just don't think it's that great of a tight end class. I think Eli Stowers from Vanderbilt's pretty good. But I don't love the size at 6'4". Max Clare, Ohio State, bigger at 6'5", but don't love. I think he's good, but I don't know. Maybe get a guy later. Get Eli Raridon from Notre Dame late because he's 6'7". I just think it'd be fun to have a ginormous tight end. Pause. My favorite receiver. I love receivers. I have two, actually. I have two favorite receivers. Both for kind of the same reason. Well, both for the same reason, but different. I think kind of how I was talking earlier, how you kind of have to find the right guy for the scheme. Sorry, my nose is running a little bit. You got to find the right guy for the scheme for the quarterback. And Patriots have the quarterback, so it's a little bit easier to find the receiver that he likes to throw to. And he likes to throw to bigger guys, taller guys, big frame. There's two guys later on the board that I want the Patriots to go get in the second round, and I think they're going to trade up to go get them. I think you have to trade up to go get one of these guys because I think they're both dudes that didn't have the best opportunity in college because of their quarterback situation and their offensive scheme that they're in. But one of the guys he's kind of a more popular guy now. I've seen a lot of his name. Chris Brazzell the second out of Tennessee. He's 6'5", 200, and he runs like a dang. Brazzell runs like a gazelle. That dude can freaking run, man. That guy is good, and he catches the ball with his hands, which I love. Like, that's how you know the guy's as confident as a receiver is when he's catching the ball with his hands. Like, he had one where he was down the field and the guy was all over him, and he just snagged it from him. Like, I was like, dang, that guy can catch, boy. And then I started to keep watching him, and I was like, if this guy didn't have an offensive coordinator that made him line up outside the numbers every single time, he would be elite. I hate Tennessee's offense. I hate it. I hate it for their receivers. I hate it for their offensive scheme is just, I mean, it's awful. I don't know. Awful. Ugh. Disgusting. Disgusting in every way. It's just terrible, man. It's terrible. Their receiver splits are just, I don't even like to watch Tennessee guys because of their offensive play calling. It's, just makes me just, oh my God. Could you imagine being a Tennessee Volunteer fan? Oh my God. And you have to watch that every Saturday? Give me a break. I couldn't even, oh my, anyway. But Chris Brazzell is, I think I'm going to call him Brazzell because I'm going to call him Brazzell the Gazelle. Brazzell the Gazelle, boy, that guy can run. And he can catch the ball. And I think he can run routes decently. He can run pretty good routes. But we just don't know because his route tree is so limited because his offensive coordinator decides to put him pretty much out of bounds every single time he lines up. Annoying. But he can catch it. He can run with the ball. I like him a lot. But I like him a lot. But my number one receiver, and I want him. I think this is a second round guy, but I still think he might be my favorite receiver out of all receivers. And I might get some flack from this, but my favorite receiver out of all receivers, Malachi Fields out of Notre Dame, 6'4", 222. That dude is physical. He catches the ball. I watched them versus USC, and he had one where he had cover two, was looking in the hole right past the corner, looked in the hole. The quarterback looked, and it was just a stupid play call. They're on the left hash, he was on the right, and the quarterback just doesn't have the arm to throw that. I mean, I don't think very many do. Like, that was like a super long throw all the way across the field, but he would have had him there, and I just think he's a big frame. I like that. He had a couple goal balls on man coverage one-on-one where he just completely toasted the guys, and he would throw it. The quarterback threw it like out of bounds, and all he had to do is throw it towards the back pylon anywhere in the back of the end zone. It was a walk-in touchdown, and you like threw it out of bounds. And there was a couple bad throws. I don't think I don't think his play calling. I don't think his quarterback play was as good as a lot of, as like. I don't think quarterback play was great for anybody, but I just don't think Notre Dame. I don't. You know what? Maybe it wasn't the quarterback play. Maybe it's also they have two unbelievable running backs, and they pretty much ran it on 90% of the plays. That's probably what it like. They ran like they could run the ball every time with either of their running backs, and it was a touchdown. Those guys are unbelievable. So I think that kind of hindered him. People might kind of say his separation's not as great. I I don't know. Like I think he has better separation, especially better separation than like N'Keal Harry. I like if that's what we want to say. I think that's the last time I'm ever going to say his name ever again because whatever. But I think it's similar to Denzel Boston out of Washington. I think it's similar. I think I like how Malachi Fields plays a little better. I think they play similarly, and I think you can get a lot more bang for your buck out of Malachi Fields. I think he plays, now this might sound nuts, but he plays kind of like, oh man, I can't believe I'm about to say this. Not like him. No, I'm not comparing it. I'm not saying this is who he is. I'm not saying that. He plays kind of like Julio Jones, where any ball in the air, it's like, oh, he's gonna get that. Like his ball, like he has some where the quarterback throws it out of bounds, and he still like catches it, or like there'll be one over his shoulder, and quarterback just throw it in the field of play, and he throws out of bounds. He like circus catches it, tries to drag his feet. He can't because it's 9 yards, but he still catches it. I think he's really good. I think he's a really good player. And I think if you want to go bang for your buck, if you want to get, I think the Patriots should just go big on the offense. Malachi can run block. Obviously, he had two running backs that like to run the ball. And yeah, I think those are the guys. Look, this is getting way too long. Like this is an hour long. So let me just break it down. I think the number one guy, my number one guy that the Patriots should get in this spot, and that's if these guys are all available, is Zion Young, edge rusher out of Missouri. That's my number one guy. If not, I think Messidor, or and then number three, TJ Parker from Clemson. But I think if Messidor and Zion Young are gone, which you never know, there's still like a month and a half till the draft, which I think Zion should be rocket. Once Zion Young goes to the draft combine, he's going to be like a number 7 pick. He's just an animal. If neither of those guys are there, I think you maybe go safety. Yeah, I think you go safety maybe and go Emmanuel McNeil-Warren because we don't have a safety right now. Or AJ Halsey, I like how he plays. I like how he plays. He moves smooth and he's big. I think that guy's pretty good. But I would go McNeil-Warren, number 1. And if he's gone, which he very well could be, I would go Halsey. And then if not, you got Boston. I think Denzel Boston is another guy that I think would be really good in this spot. If any of those guys are gone, I would say trade back. But let's just say we can't trade back. Man, if all those guys are gone, I don't freaking know, man. This is my own thing, and one of those guys aren't gone. So I would say any of those guys. And I'll put those guys on the screen. Or not. I don't know. In the second round, I think you go Malachi Fields. I think Malachi Fields is the best bet at that spot in the second round. If he's gone, I would really like Brazil the Gazelle. I think he's a good player. I think he should be there. And I think Zach Wheatley out of Penn State. I think he's a really good player. He's the safety. I think that would be a really good move. So I know this is kind of just everywhere, which I understand. Maybe Joshua Josephs too, Tennessee edge rusher, if he's there. But look, I know this is everywhere. I know I'm all over the place. I just want to come on and talk. I kind of talked about this a little bit more, but now I watched a little bit more, guys. And those are like my main dudes, like guys that I don't think should be there. I think there are some guys that, that are getting I don't think the Patriots are getting taking a tackle. I don't think they should. I don't think they will. If they do, right tackle in like the second round or something. But if they had to in the first round, I'd pick the kid from Arizona State, Max Chor. He's pretty good. He has that dog in him. Or like Caden Proctor if he falls, but he's a left tackle. I don't think you do that. But that's what I think. Zion, my guy. That's my sleeper guy. I'm telling you. Just hop along the Zion train. Hop on. Buy your ticket now. Buy your jersey. If he goes to the Patriots, we're buying his jersey. Immediately. Purchased. That's the guy. That's my guy. But yeah. Well, I think next week I want to go on and do a couple PFF mock drafts. Maybe I'll do it live. That'd be kind of fun. That'd be kind of fun if I did it live. So, yeah. It's been an hour and some odd minutes. This is a long time. Can't believe this is so long. But, yeah. Hit the subscribe button. Like. Share it with your friends. And we'll see you guys. I'm gonna do a little bit more stuff on some later round cornerbacks, on some running backs, linebackers, some more safeties, some defensive ends, some interior line. I don't really know much of interior line, but I'm gonna see who has that dog in them. If you got that dog in them, you're gonna be on my draft board because we're just going for some dogs. We're going for dogs. That's our game plan here. On this channel, we go dogs. Aggressive dogs. Because that's what we like to see. That's what we like to see. But until next time, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.